I got in a dodgy situation one night and I acted crazy.
What happened?
If you act crazy, everybody leaves you alone.
If you don't know, this is Mel Gibson, the actor.
I'm surprised you haven't heard about me. You know, I got a bad reputation. I mean, sometimes I just go nuts like now.
And he looks like every other garden gnome you'll ever see. He went on Joe Rogan Experience and said some funny things, some interesting things, and some totally bat-turd crazy things.
Hey, you want to see crazy? I'll tell you.
I'm going to start for some reason with the main feature. Here's Mel's biggest and boldest claim.
Subscribe
to Slambagad.
I have 3 friends. All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer. All 3 of them don't have cancer right now at all.
And what did they take?
Jesus. They took some, what you've heard they've taken.
Ivermectin?
Fenbendazole.
Fenbendazole, yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot.
They drank hydrochloride something or other.
I have a few unanswered questions.
What are your friends' names? Are they also millionaires who can afford any treatment they like? What other treatments did they try? What type of cancer did they have? Why aren't they sitting next to you? Does Mel think it's a secret that ivermectin and fenbendazole is being studied for anti-cancer properties? Does Mel believe 3 anecdotes he fails to elaborate on prove anything? Why didn't Joe ask follow-up questions about the greatest discovery in medical history? And why did it take 97 minutes for you to tell us about this groundbreaking new treatment that cures cancer? When Newsweek reached out for comment, why did Mel's representative decline? Do you not want to spread this life-changing information as wide as possible?
You're asking a lot of questions.
Damn fucking right!
Please calm down.
To be asking questions like these.
What can be asserted without evidence can also be dismissed without evidence.
And Mel has provided no evidence for his claim. I suspect his friends are actually dogs and they had worms.
It's profit. When you hear about things that are demonized and that turn out to be effective, things that do cure you are not promoted because they're not profitable.
Or maybe the drugs need to go through clinical trials to ensure safety and efficacy because I don't trust Mad Max and his fucking friends. But as you're so confident, Joe, why not infect your kids with cancer and then cure them with a treatment that definitely cures cancer because it definitely cures cancer, right?
I'm not sure if it's true.
Hey, you want to see crazy? I'll tell you.
I used to have a Qigong master. He could like point at you, right, from this far away, and you'd feel it, but like feel it like as palpable as someone pushing you around. It's like, ugh. He checks you out, and then he gives you a little body map, and he puts X's all over it, and you go, yeah, that's right, I got a pain here and a thing there, and he knows where everything is. He knows exactly what's going on.
Did you ask him is he seeing your aura? Like, what is he seeing?
Everything. He sees everything.
You sure he's not a Terminator? Because he sounds like a Terminator.
I see everything.
One time, he was working on me, and he was working on my liver. He said, your liver's blocked. Whoa.
How could this man possibly have known that Mel Gibson had a liver problem?
I mean, I don't think it's any secret. I am flawed in the fact that I am by nature born an alcoholic.
The magic man that can diagnose without touching surely couldn't have read any news articles or seen any interviews. And how could he know that alcohol can damage the liver? And Mel has a theory about what else this magic healer might be able to do.
Tell me about it.
I mean, if he can use his mind and kind of get into quantum physics and move shit around with thought and with energy, there's actual energy coming out of his fingers. They could have built the pyramids like that.
Well, I'd like to hear a better explanation.
Me too.
A better explanation than the pyramids were built by the power of the Swartz is use tree trunks to roll the giant stones. It pisses me off when people say...
I'd like to hear a better explanation.
Because if that were true, then why don't you use the internet to find the answer? Oh, look, ancient Egyptians drew pictures showing you. Can you understand pictures?
No, I can't.
You've had back issues in the past, right? We talked about that the last time you came on.
Well, I was born scoliotic.
Why didn't you just ask your Qigong master to fix your back? Or better yet, find a natural remedy?
I don't believe that there is anything that can afflict mankind that hasn't got a natural cure for it. I think that there has to be. It just makes sense to me. Now, I couldn't prove that, but I just believe that.
Yeah.
That there's got to be something that cures things.
The best natural cure for everything is death.
And?
Just because something is natural doesn't necessarily mean it's good, and just because something is man-made doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Apple seeds are natural, but if you crush them and eat too many, it could be fatal. Willow trees are natural, but I'd rather have an aspirin than chew on bark. And what about water? It can kill you! Mel doesn't specify what natural cure even means, and I'm not surprised because he also believes this about evolution.
The Darwin thing? I don't really go for it. Ice Age, dinosaurs, what did they turn into?
Give it a goog.
Do you believe that evolution exists in animals?
Well, I think everything was created. And maybe things do move on and adapt and change through time.
Just to be clear, Mel does not believe in evolution, and then he describes the definition of the word evolution, which he does believe happens in nature.
I'm confused.
And I can't really, I'm sorry, I can't intellectually tell you why.
Intellectually retarded.
Why I don't believe in evolution, but I don't. It's just a feeling.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
I don't think I was some ape.
Yeah, that's right, Einstein.
Of course you weren't an ape. You're human. You've always been human. Tim Roth, on the other hand.
I don't think I was some ape, or I don't think my ancestors were. I think they had to be pretty smart to survive.
I wonder what Mel thinks the average IQ of a cockroach is. Call it an educated guess, but me thinks Mel doesn't think cockroaches are 100 million years old.
But you do think that human beings were created by
Sure,
God?
I do, yeah.
When do you think that happened?
And not that long ago.
How long are we talking?
Probably only about 8,000 years ago.
Probably only about 8,000 years ago.
That right?
A single tooth found in France's Rhone Valley shows that modern humans had arrived in Western Europe by about 54,000 years ago.
And here's the punchline to Mel's credulity in thinking humans were made 8,000 years ago.
I don't have many devices for information. I read books. I read mostly history books.
Except the history book that shows the evidence for people being around for more than 8,000 years. Except that history book.
And I just I look at all sorts of stuff like that, like, the icebergs melting and the water overflowing.
It's not.
Ever have a glass full of ice and watched it melt? Did you ever see the glass flow over?
No.
Takes up less room,
Without looking it up, I know that ice on land raises sea level because it's the same as putting an ice cube in a glass that's full to the brim. And using this thing these two dunces are allergic to, I learned something else.
An often overlooked ingredient makes a significant difference: saltiness. Various studies show that because floating ice is made of fresh water, it actually increases sea level slightly when it melts into the salty sea, unlike what happens in your water glass.
Oh, Cal surprise.
Another actor talking out of his brown eye on the Joe Rogan Experience. Convincing lazy dummies who are scared of search engines that they have anything worth saying other than
Me act, movie good, buy a ticket. Like the bloody video.